You're listening to the Lazenby Experience podcast with your host, Joshua Lazenby. The Lazenby Experience podcast is a podcast to help individuals find their way to their success. Whether it's going to a four-year university, community college, trade school, or anything else, my goal is to be a resource to help you along the way. I'll be sharing my personal ups and downs, as well as tips as I continue my journey to receive my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. I will also have guests to share their stories, advice, and experiences. So come along for the ride as you begin your journey to your success. Welcome to another episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast. If this is your first time listening in or watching, thank you for tuning in. This is definitely a great episode to come in on. Originally, I was going to be talking about something else, but because of the current climate within the United States with the coronavirus and all of that kind of shenanigans, I did kind of switch it up so we can talk a little bit about how to take advantage of working or learning from home. I know a lot of you guys, or including myself, either have to work from home or have to continue your learning from home, whether you're in college or you're in high school, maybe even grade school. So I think some of these tips would definitely be useful for not just adults, but for teens and maybe even a little bit younger who have to continue their learning from home either for the next few weeks or maybe even for the rest of this semester. So definitely I think this is a lot of good information. Some of it, of course, I got from my own experience and what I'm going through currently, because I am currently working from home. And then once I start back school next week, I'll be continuing my education for this semester from home as well. So I think all of these are really good. Some of them I did get from other sources that I either saw other people talking about, and I think that would be great ideas for other people to use as well. Or again, if I use them myself. So to get started, like I said, this episode is titled Taking Advantage of Working or Learning from Home. So for this episode, I'm going to be covering two things. I'm going to try to make it a little shorter than I usually do, just so you don't have to listen to me talk for 45 minutes. You can listen to maybe 30 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it within that time frame. So I'll be covering two things. The first one is how to learn/work from home efficiently. And then the second thing is things to do to take advantage of this time that we have working or learning from home. And then for those who unfortunately have had their hours cut or maybe had their position cut altogether for this coronavirus situation, I do have some things I think that you guys can also do on your time away from work, or if you have less time at work, so you can also take advantage of this time. So let's move forward. So the first thing is effectively working/learning from home. First tip that I have is continue to get ready like you're on a normal day. Now, of course, you're not going to be driving anywhere or taking the bus or public transportation because you'll be home. I still think you should try to get up around the same time that you usually do, just so once you get back to that regular routine, you'll still have that routine in you, and you won't have to try to get back to that routine. Now, that is something I'm still working on, just because my body realized I don't have to go anywhere to continue my job from home, because, like I said, I am working from home. But that is something I think that would definitely help you continue your routine once everything gets back to normal. So if you do take a shower at night, you continue doing that. If you take it in the morning, take it in the morning. Of course, you don't have to get dressed like you're going to work, but possibly change into something different, maybe a different shirt, different pajama pants. You can have your work pajama pants and then your sleep pajama pants, have those separate, just so you can have that same kind of routine going on when you're getting ready for school or getting ready for work in the morning. Next thing I want to talk about is creating a space for yourself to continue working or learning from home. So you definitely don't want to make your bed your desk, because you want to keep your bed that space where you go to sleep, and you are getting away from work. You don't want to include that kind of I guess energy that you have going into work, the same kind of energy as you are going to bed, because it can kind of mess up things when things go back to normal. So I would definitely not make this the space that you want for work slash school the same as your bed, but have it, if you have a desk at home, make that your spot. If you don't have a desk, maybe you can make a little spot, maybe with some I said plastic, with some baskets, or something like a nightstand or something that you can use, so you can distinguish between your work and your school from your at home in some kind of way. I personally, luckily, a few months ago, I bought myself a desk, so I use my desk as my workstation slash school station when school start. So I can keep my bed away, or my home, kind of keep them separate, my home and my school and work. Next thing I have on the list is keep your schedule as close, keep your schedule the same or as close as possible to the same as possible. Oh, I said it's possible already, but keep your schedule the same as much as you can. Of course, if your schedule included when you was working from home, going to the grocery store after work, or going to the gym after work or something like that, you probably can't continue doing that just because gyms are closed, and a lot of grocery stores don't have everything right now because a lot of people are just buying everything. So those sorts of things might not be able to be on your schedule, but if you usually take a lunch at 12:30 or 12 o'clock, continue doing that. If you have meetings at certain times, try to continue doing that as much as possible, again, just so you can keep that same routine. So once you go back to everything being normal and going to work, you can still have that routine going on and don't have to kind of get back to it. Next thing is something that I actually enjoy doing. I actually wrote a blog post about this before, but having a to-do list of everything you want to accomplish for that day. Now, for me, I have a couple to-do lists. I have a to-do list of course, the things I want to get done for that day. I have things I want to get done within a certain amount of time, or just a to-do list of things that when I have time, I can get to those things. But definitely, you want to try to make yourself a to-do list of everything you want to get done for that day at least, because you want to keep yourself accountable, and the best way is have a list or have something that you can look at and be like, okay, this is what I said I'm going to get done, so let me work hard so I can get it done, and then I can do other things with my day. And then of course you can write that list the night before. You can write it in the morning, but of course you want to write it before you actually have to get those tasks done. So definitely try to make that list. And if you are good with making it maybe like a weekly list, you can do that as well. But I would start off doing it every day, and then as you can see what you're actually being able to get done every day, you can possibly make it for the week, so you can have things to look forward to, or know what to look forward to within that week. But if you do want to look at my blog, the website is lazenbyexperience.wordpress.com. And then I've been writing a blog now for I had a blog for like 2 years now. I stopped doing it for now because I'm doing this podcast, but I'm going to continue doing them once I get a good routine going on with this new experience with the podcast. So if you do want to see my blog post about that, you can go to that website, and then you can see that. Next thing on my list, working slash learning from home efficiently, is, if it's allowed, a lot of states or even cities are shutting down a lot of things or having curfews or having quarantines and everything. So, of course, if you are allowed to do it, definitely try to take a break. And when you take a break, maybe go outside for a few minutes, walk around the block or anything like that. Of course, still sticking to the guidelines that you have, staying 6 feet away from everybody, keeping your hands clean, don't touch your face and your mouth, like and stuff like that. If you get in contact with people, cough inside of your shoulder, not shoulder, but your arm, or inside of like a towel or something, and throw that away right away, like a tissue or something like that. If you do plan on going outside, just to kind of not be inside all day, to get that fresh air and to kind of get away from work just for a little while and taking a break, like that kind of thing. And then I know this last thing I have for working slash learning from home efficiently. A lot of people do have kids, and because daycare might not be going, you have your kids there as well. So one thing I have advice for is trying to have them do something as they are away from school or daycare. I seen a lot of things on Facebook I seen one thing on Facebook where there was a parent and she or he, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they basically had Monopoly money, and then they said they gave their kids a list of things they can do in order to get the Monopoly money, and then that Monopoly money can go towards other things like having extra time for TV, having different snacks that they have on sale, like chips and candy and chocolate and all that kind of thing. So having something for your kids to do while you're working from home is definitely can help you have a distraction-free place, and then also have them continue doing something so they're not bored as well. So those are my tips on if efficiently working slash learning from home. If you do have other tips, or if you feel there's other things people can do, definitely let me know or post them in the comments below somewhere. You can definitely do that as well. We always want to make sure we're helping each other, and definitely in this type of situation that we're going through right now. So my last thing I want to talk about is how to take advantage of this time. So like I said before, even a lot of people might not be working from home because their job either cut hours or cut that position out completely until this virus goes away or slows down. But you still want to be able to take advantage of the time that you have at home, whether it's by yourself, with a roommate, with family, or anything like that. You want to make sure that you still keep yourself moving and not just sitting down all day doing nothing. So I did create a small list as well for that. So first thing I have is get things done you said you don't have time or never have time to do. So that include finishing a book that you were interested in. I say finishing a book. If you like to write, maybe you can finish something that you were writing or start something to write. If you are interested in drawing, continue or start that drawing or finish that drawing that you had already. Get yourself doing something so you again have something to look forward to when you wake up every day. And then also I would say catch up on things that you might have forgotten about. So it is technically the beginning of spring, so maybe this could be the time that you start doing your spring cleaning. You can start getting rid of stuff that you thought you needed that you don't need. You can definitely make your home feel better and not so junky. Since you're not working or working a lot less, you can kind of keep yourself motivated or up in good spirits, keeping your house clean as well. My house or my apartment definitely needs some cleaning. So I have been doing that as I work from home, just to kind of get away from work for 15 minutes. I might go clean my room or clean the living room and just straighten up some things just to make it look better. So definitely use this time wisely. Next thing I put is learn something new or try something new. We all have access to this thing called YouTube, or sometimes YouTube University. There's a lot of things on there that you can try to learn, from a different language to maybe learning how to program a little bit, learning different things. Maybe you want to start doing photography. You have a phone that you can go out and take pictures and then learn how to edit the pictures, or do videos or anything like that. There's a lot of resources out there, so you can learn how to do a lot of different things. Maybe you want to learn how to cook something. You can definitely learn how to do that with a lot of different videos on YouTube. You can Google a lot of different things. So definitely try to keep yourself learning something new. Keep yourself like up, making sure you are staying positive, making sure you are keeping up with whatever you need to keep up with as far as within the home or anything like that. So definitely try something new, learn something new. You never know, it might lead to something else once this quarantine is over. So definitely do that if you can. Next, this one, I kind of talked about it in my first section, is if you have kids, play games with them. A lot of times when you are working and they're at school, when you guys come home, you guys are tired, or you guys have other things that you guys want to do, because they want to play video games, or you just want to relax and drink a glass of wine or something like that. Now you have a lot more time to actually interact with your kids and have time to do different things. So come up with different games. So maybe you have board games or card games, or you find a game that you've seen somebody play on Facebook or something like that. Definitely create those memories that you can right now, because once you get back to being normal, you might not be able to do those things, or do those things a lot less than you would right now. So definitely, again, stay positive and try to include your kids, if you have kids, in things, so y'all can create a bond. Next thing is exercise. A lot of gyms, I think, if not all gyms, are closed at this time, just because they are probably one of the worst places you want to be at this time, where a virus can easily get transferred to you through a cough or a handshake or through sweat or whatever. You want to just stay away from those kind of places if they're open. But at home, you can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, you can possibly do a lap around your block. There's a lot of different exercises online that you can do. Again, that YouTube University would definitely be a good source for that. You want to get in better shape? This is definitely a time to start that habit of working out and being in shape. And then the last thing I have for today is, I think I said this a few times, but stay positive. No matter if you are working from home, you're taking classes at home, you're working a lot less, or you're not working at all, you want to continue to stay positive, because in a time like this, you never know what's going to happen. So definitely call your loved ones. If you have kids or you live with your loved ones, spend time with them. Try to stay positive. Read positive affirmations that you might find online. Pray, be with your family, and that kind of thing. So definitely, if don't get anything out of this, or none of these things work for you, definitely still stay positive, because you want to be able to what I'm trying to say, live through this moment. So after this is over, you can say, I was able to make it through. So that's all I have for today. Like I said, I want to make it a lot shorter than I usually do, just because I feel like I be talking forever and I don't want to bore anybody. So if any of that works for you, I'm I'll be happy. I'm glad I was able to help. If none of it helped you, I'm sorry. I'm going to continue moving forward so I can possibly find something else that can help you. But before I end, I do want to say I am available again on a lot of different platforms. So if you have Facebook, you can find me. If you have YouTube, you can find me both at The Lazenby Experience. That's Lazenby Experience. You can find me on Apple Podcasts. You can find me on Google. I think there's like Google Podcast. It's a whole bunch of different platforms. So whatever platform you use, you can probably most likely find me on there as well. You can also email me at lazenbyexperience@gmail if you have at gmail.com. If you have any questions, if you have any topics you want me to cover, if you want me to clarify anything, definitely hit me up. I am more than welcome to help you through whatever situation you might be going through. Of course, if I don't know the answer, I will possibly be able to find somebody else who can help you with the answer that you're looking for. So again, that is all I have for today. So until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success. Thanks for listening to the Lazenby Experience podcast with me, Joshua Lazenby. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something to help you along your journey to your success. The Lazenby Experience podcast will continue to be available anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. If you really enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, and write a comment. For any questions, you can reach me at lazenbyexperience@gmail.com. Until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success.